I am so excited to be doing this today. I have waited to get this. I'm making it seem like it's been forever, but I wanted to get this when it launched and I really couldn't because of the timing. It launched on February 1st. I had just paid for rent. I had to do payroll, bills, you know how it goes. So I really couldn't afford to get this when it launched. So I waited a little bit. I knew that I wanted to get it. So it was only a matter of time and I finally got it. So I'm really excited to be sharing this with everyone today. This package is so joyful. Doesn't everyone want to get a shiny purple package? This is a brand new makeup company from a woman named Tiara Cuffey. She is Atlanta based. In the package, she left 2 cards. One is a very nice thank you card and the other is a business card. She says thank you and of course you're welcome. I have been cuffed and I am now a pearl. The back of the card says, what mental health needs is more sunlight, more candor, and more unashamed conversation. Thank you for joining Cuff Your Pearls in the movement to end stigmas associated with mental illness. This is the company logo. The website is justcuffyourpearls.com, when mental health meets makeup. And on Instagram, it's Cuff Your Pearls. The founder's Instagram is Melanated Chaos, KHAOS. This is a palette that I've been so excited to get. So much thought went into this, and I love how this is an expression of Tiara's personality. This palette is called Trouble in Paradise. On the back of both the box and the palette, about the company, it says, Cuff is a play on words. It's actually part of my last name, Cuffy. Pearls symbolize wisdom acquired through experience, so when you hear or see Cuff Your Pearls, I'd like for you to take a hold of every good or bad experience that you've been through. Don't let go, because through these experiences is where you gain wisdom. This wisdom will allow you to fight another day. Mental health will no longer be overlooked. Mental illness will no longer be considered a stigma. For once mental health is meeting makeup, remember to cuff your pearls. And this is the inside of the palette. What an interesting color story. I'm fascinated by this because the packaging is so bright, but the shadows are very grungy, muted colors. There are 11 shimmers and 4 mattes. I looked at this last night. I had to restrain myself from playing with the colors because I wanted to wait until today. But I did take a look at this palette and I noticed that there are what seem to be intentional patterns. The shimmers are collected here and in the middle, so that makes a pattern. And the mattes are top, middle, right and left middle, and the bottom center. I was looking at this with my partner, so we were both kind of bouncing ideas off of each other. These 2 colors are similar, these 2 colors are similar, these 2 colors are similar, which are all in a pattern. And these 2, these 2, these 2, and these 2. I am dying to know if that were intentional, so I will probably be sending Tiara an email just to ask. Obviously, the color that pops out to me is this one, Feeling Blue, just because it is the most vibrant. I'm intrigued by these colors being together, these colors being together, and these colors. Frankly, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. First thing, I'm gonna swatch everything out. I'm gonna do the mattes first. We'll do the browns and then the blue tones. So first, Canceled Plans. It's a very taupey brown. Second, Better Days. That one feels more like a satin. Ooh, that's much more pigmented. I would not have known that had I not swatched it. Now I see why she included both. We were curious last night because some of these shades are so similar, but you really don't know how different they are until you swatch them. Perfectly Imperfect, which is a beautiful color. That feels like a satin also. It's like a denim color. Unbalanced. Yeah, these 3 have similar feels. Those mattes look amazing together. Yes, I really like the 4 of these colors together. Those blues are different. Now for the shimmers. I'm gonna start with the neutral shimmers, starting with I'm Strong, very soft. Oh, what? Look at that pigment. Oh, it's so solid. This is not sheer at all. Wow, look at that, that's so pretty. Ah, ooh. Ooh, blinding. I wonder if all of these shimmers are gonna be like different textures. Maybe some will be sheer, some of them will be more opaque. Now I'm gonna do Meditation. Yeah, that one is just as opaque, not as blinding as I'm Strong. I'm really glad that I decided to do this in this order because this color story alone is beautiful. Next, I'll do Patience. Patience and I'm Strong have very similar textures. Beautiful already. Yeah. Oh my God. This is thrilling. So excited. I was excited before, but I'm really, really excited now. I'm worthy. I'm just getting more and more excited. These are so beautiful. They're so pretty. I'm gonna do Stigma. Okay. No judgment. I cannot get over these shimmers or the mattes. I can't get over anything so far. I'm gonna have so much fun with this palette. Next, procrastinating. Now the greens and the blues. I'll do the blues first. Nah, fuck it, we'll do the greens first. First I'll do overthinking. Dig deep. Let me just say, I am not very good at doing swatches. These shadows made it so easy for me to do them. Beautiful, beautiful. We have 2 more. Seek Therapy. Holy moly. I'm so impressed. Oh my God. Okay, last one. I saved Feeling Blue for the last. And that's everything. That is the palette. This is the Trouble in Paradise palette swatches. Wow. I am so intrigued by this color story. Okay, I'm really glad that I swatched them out the way that I did, because this is what makes sense to me as far as what I could create looks from. The way I've grouped them just make more sense to me. I just don't know what to do. There's so many options now. Okay, let me think. I figured it out. I'm so inspired by this. I love this, but I'm so inspired by this. I'll be honest, I really wanted to get the Blueprint Melt palette. I didn't, and I still might, but this really reminds me of that, and I have been wanting to do a look from that palette for a while. So I'm gonna use this because those colors remind me of that palette, and I love that color story. So this is what we're doing. You already knew this, but there's a mirror in the palette, which is really convenient. So I can sit right here and do my makeup directly in front of the camera. I want to turn the rest of this into a get ready with me, because if I'm going to be using a palette that is all about mental health, I want to talk about mental health. I specifically want to talk about what makes us feel good and what to do when we don't feel good. I just got my swatches all over the table next to me. I never take my swatches off. They just wear off on my clothes. Bad habit, I know. Okay, I got my trusty dusty brushes ready. I mentioned this in another video, but these are the these are the 5 brushes I use all the time. They are from Clionadh, Luxie, and La Beauté Sol. I don't know anything about La Beauté Sol, but I know about Luxie and Clionadh. I've been meaning to get some Clionadh singles for a while. Brushes are a little bit stained because I did a really vibrant pink look last night. I'm gonna start with Better Days. I'm gonna put that directly in the crease. This is gonna be so pigmented, I know it. I'm like nervous about it. It's very pigmented. So I'm being really light-handed just because how incredibly, let me look at it, so pigmented. You can tell just from the swatches. This is like a single swipe eyeshadow. Fantastic. I think it was sometime last week, Tiara mentioned that there was a sale, a 20% off sale for all of the Cuff Your Pearls products. I don't know if that's still active, I'll check, and if it is, I'll put it in the information box below. So let's talk. Canceled plans. I'm gonna use this to buff this up into the brow area. So yeah, let's talk. So what makes us feel good? It's so easy to focus on the things that make us feel like absolute garbage. So we need to think more about what makes us feel good. And it's really hard to think about what feels good when you feel bad. So what can help make us remember what feels good? Maybe putting in a journal the things that feel good. So when we do feel bad, we can open up the journal and reflect on it, maybe. I just noticed in here that the one I'm using, Canceled Plans, this one is the lightest color in the palette. If you want to get this palette, I suggest having a nice light color on hand to lighten things up, because the reason why I'm thinking about it is because I want to lighten this up, but I realize there's not a lighter color in the palette. So now I have a really dark brow bone, which is fine. I'm just gonna go with it. I will probably try to lighten that up actually with that light neutral shimmer. And I do not like to use shimmers under my brow, but I think I have to today just to lighten up the brow. This side is a little more what I wanted to do. This one, I went a little crazy. I'm gonna even it out because I can't go lighter on the other side. Yeah, we're just gonna go directly up to the brow. I'm still so much darker on this side. Oh my gosh. I get really focused on what I'm doing when I'm doing my makeup. So I'm like, let's talk. And here I am just like focused. But honestly, putting makeup on is what feels good to me, among other things, but it's pretty amazing, I think. I have found that putting on makeup is the one thing I can do that completely clears my mind. I think about nothing else. Absolutely not a single thing. Nothing else. It makes me feel really good to just be alone. I don't want anyone around me when I'm doing my makeup. It's my alone time. It is time for me to focus, do a project. I consider this like a project, like an art project, because I'm not going out. No one's gonna see me. I'm not doing it for anyone but me. So makeup feels good. Putting makeup on and wearing makeup feels really good to me, even if no one can see me. The process of putting makeup on and actually seeing it on, even just momentarily, feels really good, and it's enough for me. Okay, now I'm going to start digging into the blues. I'm gonna start with Perfectly Imperfect, the darker blue, and I'm gonna put that on the outer corner. I think what's gonna happen is this look is going to start out like it's going to be really, really dark and deep, but I think with the shimmers, it's really gonna lighten things up, I think. So I'm gonna use this Perfectly Imperfect on the outer half of the lid on an angle. Okay, what else feels good? For me, in addition to putting on makeup, what feels good? And this changes depending on so many things. It depends on the day. It depends on what's happened recently or what I expect is gonna happen in the near future. Sometimes reading books feels really good. I just started getting back into that recently. It is a passion of mine. I love reading books, but when I'm feeling incredibly stressed out, I can't focus on reading a book. So I did not read a single book from cover to cover last year, 2020. Traveling feels really good. Haven't been able to do that in the last year. Something that I have been able to do other than doing makeup that feels good is eating really good food. Food to me feels really good. I don't so much, and I'm sorry if this is a trigger topic for you, food eating, I know that can be very difficult. I want to talk about it as a positive thing that you can do for your mental health. Finding food, specific food, not a large amount of food, but a specific kind of food, a specific flavor that makes you feel really good. Eating that one thing and savoring that one thing. Now I'm going to use Unbalanced on the front half of the lid, following that diagonal. These two shades are pretty similar. Yeah, you can see those two shadows, Perfectly Imperfect and Unbalanced, are pretty similar. So they may be better to be used separately for different looks. I'm going higher up into the crease with Unbalanced, and I'm pulling that right along the crease to blend in with that dark brown Better Days and Perfectly Imperfect. I did a really dark look yesterday with completely different colors, but this is really fun. This is nice. Let's see if I can talk about things that feel good that aren't a hot topic. Taking baths. Taking baths is the thing that I do when I really can't do anything else. I'm too restless to read or sit and watch something, but I have nothing to do. So if I have absolutely nothing to do and I am just bored to tears and incredibly restless, the thing that I do is take a bath. That's another thing that I can do that I can kind of zone out with. I sit directly in the bath while it is still filling up. Like I just basically turn the water on and get in and sit there while the water rises. And I'm obsessed with bath bombs. Bath bombs are great, especially the ones that create a really colorful foam. The fizzy ones, the foamy fizzy ones, where you put them in the bath and they roll, they spin and spit out a bunch of foam that are multicolored, and you can just sit and watch it until it fizzes out. And then you see this beautiful pattern on the bath. What I do is I will just sit there for as long as I possibly can and just observe all of the patterns that the bath bomb has made. Once the water starts getting cool is when I start doing something. So I have to add more hot water to the bath and then actually bathe myself. Okay, we are a dark and stormy look today, which goes with the theme, really. Mental health, dark and stormy. Sometimes you have those days. We're having some pretty icy days where I am. Moody. This is a very, very moody look. It's a very moody palette. So we have done this and this. We did this in the crease. We did that to blend it up into the brow. That was on the outer corner of the lid, half of it. And the other half of the lid, the inner part, was this one. So now we're gonna get into these incredible shimmers. And I'm not sure if I wanna use this or not. It's a little, I guess I could actually use that. I don't really know. I don't want it to be too bright. I kind of just want to stick with like here up. So I might be in a little pickle. Well, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Better Days, that dark brown color here. And I'm gonna put that along my lower lash line. About to cover my, that's pointless. I actually don't know if I've done that or not, so if I have, I'm sorry. I usually use a smaller smudgy brush, but I'm using this bigger eyeshadow packing brush because I want to go pretty low on my under eye so I have room to use those shimmers, because I don't think I'm going to use them on the upper lid. And I'm really not going to pack on too much color. I just want there to be enough dark brown to be kind of a base for those shimmers before things get too wild and crazy. I'm going to get back into canceled plans, which is all of 2020 and so far, well, not 2021 because I haven't made any plans that I've needed to cancel. Anyway, I'm using canceled plans on a little fluffy brush, and I'm going to pull this up into my temple, which is what I do to create a faux lift. And since I went so high on the brow, I'm going to go over the brow. So if you do this, make sure your brows are set. So I'm going all the way into the temple, into my hairline. It's gonna be dramatic. Have you all thought about what kind of looks you're gonna do once the world opens back up? I think about this all the time. Like, am I going to walk out of the house with these really, really bold looks that I've been creating since 2020? I feel like a lot of people started getting into makeup like me in 2020 just because there was nothing else to do. People picked up all kinds of hobbies, crafts, baking, cooking, all kinds of things. So since so many people got into makeup in 2020, I hope that since we have kind of developed our skills a little bit, 2021 can be the year of self-expression. Like, we figured out how to do makeup. We've tried all these very neutral, very basic things. And now that we know what we're doing, it's the year to get nuts. Self-expression to the max. Okay, I think I blended out into the temple enough. I just wanted to do that before I did anything else because I always run the risk of going too low, and it brings my eyes down if I put my lower lash line color too low on the outer corner. So I see there is just a tiny bit of fallout, not a lot. So just beware of that. I recommend doing your face makeup after your eye makeup, just in the event that there is fallout for any pan. I did my face makeup before I did my eye makeup just to save time on this video. That's kind of just how I've been doing my videos. I do my face makeup, then my eye makeup, and then I'm done. Now let's figure out what we want to do with the shimmers. What other things feel really good? I am an animal person. I love animals, all of them, and being around them is a feel-good thing for me. Always. So undecided on these shimmers. I'm gonna start with I'm Strong, which is the lightest shimmer shade. And I wanna see how that does in my inner corner. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever actually be good at these get ready with me's because I can't focus on anything but what I'm doing. In the event that I don't actually end up saying much at all, talk to me in the comments. We can talk there. Tell me what feels good for you. Tell me what you do when you're feeling good. And what do you do when you're feeling bad? I wanna know what feels really good to you when you're feeling good. Like, I'm feeling good. These are the things that I wanna do because I'm feeling good enough to do them. What do you do when you're feeling kind of bad and something can actually get you out of that? What are those things? And what do you do when nothing feels good at all? That I think is the most important. When you are feeling your absolute worst, and by worst, I don't mean sad or angry. I mean when you feel nothing, because that to me is the worst. When you feel nothing. Nothing excites you, nothing inspires you, nothing invokes any feelings whatsoever. That to me is the worst. So what do you do then? For me, I take a bath. I take a bath. What else do I do? I don't do a whole lot. I try to make myself do makeup because I know that makes me feel good. And sometimes I do feel better after it. Sometimes, the times that I don't feel great after I do my makeup, I still feel better than I did before I did it. So tell me. I want to talk to you in the comments. Tell me everything. Okay, how much time am I gonna waste before I make a decision here? I love this I'm Worthy color, that one. I'm gonna try to put that on my lower lash line. Maybe smack dab in the middle. That's different. I'm just so unsure about what I want to do with these shadows. I love them. I just don't know the direction to go with them because I don't really want to use a blue shimmer on top of the mattes that I used on the upper lid. So my options are a little bit limited. I need to do the shimmers on the lower lash line or in the crease or, you know, below the brow bone. I just don't know. That's different. I don't hate it. What I'm wondering about is this right here. What is this? So I have these lines on my eyes. I have a line that goes all the way from here to here. I have sunken in eyelids, and so whenever I put color on my inner corner right here, it accentuates that line and it creates a giant shadow. I want to play with this whole palette. Okay, let's just calm down here. I just did this color here and I want to do this one, which is Patience. I'm wondering if I should do it under, yep, I'll do it. I'm going to do it under I'm Worthy under the lash line. I was planning on going low, so I'm just going to go low. We're just going to have a really, really warm lower lash line and under eye area. Okay, different. I'm gonna put Meditation, this brown one, on the outer corner of the lower lash line. I think it's fine to have completely separate colors on your upper and lower lids, but I feel like there needs to be something to connect the two. So this is what it's gonna be, this brown shimmer. And I'm gonna try to blend these together with Canceled Plans, that light brown, just small little circles to get them to blend. And I'm just barely dipping into it. I do not want a whole lot of pigment. I just want a little bit of pigment to blend these colors together. Okay, this is an interesting look. I'm into it. But I'm not done, just because I want to see how it looks. I'm going to put Stigma, this very bright warm shimmer, in between I'm Strong and I'm Worthy. Not right in the inner corner, but just between them. Okay, bright to dark. Okay. This is a look. I'm gonna dip into I'm Worthy again and just kind of beef up where it is on my lower lash line. I went a little light because I wasn't sure how it was gonna be, but now that I put Stigma there, I'm gonna beef it up a little bit. What I think I'm gonna do now actually is use I'm Strong, the lightest of the shimmers, and continue this shimmer to the brow, but not all of it. I just kind of want there to be almost like a wave, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't want it to just be in the corner. I want it to be like a continuous line that just kind of angles up and goes into the brow, so I'm not going to continue it for the rest of it. It's not an under brow highlight. That's not what we're doing. And I'm just blending that out a little bit so it's not a harsh line. What I think I need to do is powder under my eyes. Just blending a little bit more. Okay, I feel like I've lost a little bit of pigment on this side, so I'm gonna put a little more Canceled Plans right here. Yeah, better, okay, that's better. But speaking of Canceled Plans, I'm just going to blend a little bit more under here. Yeah. I need this to be a cohesive look. I don't want the top and bottom to be so separate. I'm blending those warm shimmers out with Canceled Plans. I'll tell you what, this was not what I was expecting when I went into this today. I wasn't expecting anything, but man, I would not have expected this. What an interesting look here. Well, I'm into it. I need to stop somewhere. Now might be the time. There are other days I don't have to do this entire palette in one look. Now I'm gonna put on some liner, do my mascara, probably powder a little bit, and my lips, of course, because I always forget them, and I will be back for the final look of my thoughts. Now I feel like a bad bitch. Sometimes you just go where the palette takes you, and this is where the palette took me, to bad bitch land. I'll take it, fine. If there were an island with nothing but bad bitches, I would want a vacation there all the time. Am I right? I mean, come on. So, thoughts. I kind of expressed my thoughts as I was going throughout the palette, doing the swatches, doing my look. I love it. I love it. And I am going to have this permanently live on the top of my desk where I have all my makeup stuff. I've got my palettes all on a shelf on one side of the desk, and then I've got things organized in different places. But this is going to live on my desk, which is my workstation pretty much. I put everything that I'm going to use for a certain look on the desk and then put everything away. This is gonna live on there forever. Even if I'm not gonna be using this palette for a look that day, it's still gonna be there because I wanna look at it. I wanna think about what this palette means. I wanna think about what this palette means to the person who made it. I wanna think about what the palette means to me. I am so happy that this came out. I'm happy for Tiara. I'm happy for everyone who purchased this. I'm happy for everyone who's going to be using this, and hopefully we all, while we're using it, think about all the work that went into it, what she went through, what we've been through, and what we're doing right now, which is our makeup, because that's what makes us feel good. If you, like me, and I'm assuming Tiara, do your makeup for your mental health, I want to get to know you and I want you to get to know me. If you enjoy this content, if you enjoy watching people do your makeup, that's another thing that I do to feel good. I love watching makeup videos on YouTube. I love it. It's what I did all last year and I'm still doing it. I watch it all the time. And it does always make me feel better. And that's the reason why I started making these videos. I wanted to do the thing that made me feel good because maybe I can make you feel good. If you enjoy this content, hit subscribe and notifications because that's why I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here to do my makeup and show you a different perspective, or show you something that you've done that you think is cool on somebody else, or to show you palettes and brands that you might have not heard of that are bigger than just makeup. So I appreciate you watching this. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you are doing your makeup and it makes you feel good. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of whatever time. Have a great rest of your hour, because I know that things change from minute to minute, hour to hour. So thank you for taking the time to sit here and hang out with me. I'll see you later. Bye.